Bon dia! Welcome back. Surf. Well, the workers are here, and much to my horror, but I have no say in the matter anymore, they're going to chop down this Japanese maple here in the backyard. Mark planted this tree decades ago, probably 30 years ago, but it's gotten very, very large. I like it, but as I said, I don't live here anymore. So it looks like this Japanese maple is coming down today, and going to cut back the lemon tree too, and the bougainvillea, cut it back. It will mean a lot more light will come into the garden, but I don't know, I kind of like that overgrown jungly feel. But again, I don't live here anymore, so Mark could do whatever he wants. But he is not cutting down my beautiful succulents and cactus. You're not cutting down this beautiful...
No, we thought we were going to put a post here to support it.
Yeah, I mean, look how beautiful it is. 25 feet now or more.
I don't want to... See, these branches, they fall off. They've broken off on their own.
Huh.
I had to throw them away.
Yeah.
Because they just get too heavy.
Yeah.
We need to make it safe.
But maybe later just put a post up and tie it together so it won't fall.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so that's...
As you can see, the tree's coming down. It's sad, I guess. But Mark's going to plant a smaller tree, a fruit tree, maybe a fig tree, so that'll be nice. I admit it has gotten too big. It's kind of overpowering this small garden now. I sure wish, I'm going to miss this garden again. I have a little garden in Brazil, but it's just basically a front yard. It gets too much sun. It's way too hot. My flowers and plants wither. I'm sure they'll be all half dead when I get back because, my Brazilian family are city folk. They don't, even though they live in tropical Brazil with all of the beautiful nature there, they just don't know how to take care of plants. So say goodbye to the Japanese maple tree. Look at this tree.
You have to be careful where
It's coming
you're
down
going.
so fast.
Like,
Almost all the branches are gone now.
Spain is good.
But one good thing, I guess, is that there's a lot of sun
Spain is
suddenly.
Yeah, we have family over there. I do have family.
Oh, you have family
A
there?
lot of sun pouring into the garden, although I kind of like that overgrown jungly look myself, but it's not my call. Well, I rescued a few of the flowers and leaves that they're chopping down. There's a rose bush entwined in the Japanese maple that they're cutting down, so I brought some of the flowers in, some of the leaves from the Japanese maple, and they're in my kitchen now. Looks nice. If I still lived here, I would be tempted to leave the barren, naked branches of the tree right where it is and paint the branches multiple colors and then hang interesting objects from it. But no, that's not up to me. Mark says he's going to put a fruit tree here in its place. It'll be smaller and more manageable. The death of a Japanese maple. Look at all those beautiful green leaves going into the garbage. You can hold away. And then this Myers lemon tree is going to be cut back too. Not cut down, but cut back. Interesting, you can see the lemon tree next door. Suddenly it's getting light. Probably going to grow better, get better looking fruit. And also there's lots of roses entangled in that tree. Anyway, it looks nice. You cut something down and you uncover and discover new things. Here I complain about being cold all the time. Not at night though. And I like sleeping in cold at night. I can sleep the entire night without waking up without discomfort. You know, you've got blankets, plenty of blankets. It's nice to sleep in a cold room. Whereas in Brazil, sleeping in the heat, now I always have a fan right on top of me in Brazil, but still, I often wake up in the middle of the night, hot and itchy. I've got some kind of heat rash or allergy to my own sweat. I don't know, but I've always had this problem when I'm in the tropics where I get at night terrible itching, especially on my lower legs. And I don't get that here. And then, of course, in Brazil, during the day, it's very, very hot. I go for long walks, and I'm often the only person in my town out walking on the streets. And, you know, midday, early afternoon, everybody else is indoors. So I guess I can't win, but I'm not really complaining. I love where I live in Brazil. No place is perfect. There are other things that I like or dislike about either San Francisco or Brazil. Well, I love all the food choices here in San Francisco. I have to say, the food is much better here. You've got so much variety, cuisine from all around the world. Mexican, Chinese, Japanese, Cambodian, Thai, you name it, any part of the world, you will find that kind of cuisine here in San Francisco. Whereas in Brazil, I've never been a fan of Brazilian food, and I have a lot of people who agree with me. You know, it's beans and rice, and heavy, heavy, heavy on the meat. The food I find to be overly salted. Salads with too much mayonnaise, especially given the abundance of fruits and vegetables. They're sorely lacking in the cooking. Now, but I'm going to go back to the United States now, and my observation is the problem with the food environment in the United States, it can be very unhealthy. The portions are huge. You know, what is the United States is now the most overweight country in the world. Maybe there are too many choices, too much junk food, too much processed food in the United States. I've put on, 15 pounds since I've been back. I'm looking forward to getting back to Brazil and losing those 15 pounds I've added. Now, Brazilians have also gotten heavier. I've been traveling to and living in Brazil for 25 years now. I remember, oh my God, everybody was so lithe and in shape and such gorgeous beauty on the beaches. But there's a lot of overweight people in Brazil now. And again, you know, it's a global problem, toxic food environments. Another advantage in Brazil is that things are so much less expensive. Food prices, housing, everything is much more reasonable. Well, for anybody who has dollars or euros, a foreign currency that is, it's expensive Brazilians. But here in the United States, the prices are just outrageous. They've risen so much in the 3 years that I've been gone. And they're only going to get worse in the coming weeks and months with dictator Trump's ridiculous tariffs. Brace yourselves. And I think Brazil, on the other hand, is going to benefit because the world is going to look to alternatives. Another advantage in Brazil is that people are a lot friendlier in public, livelier, more animated, more willing to strike up a conversation, whereas people here are somewhat, in public anyway, distrustful and wary and busy and preoccupied. And I much prefer the social scene and the friendliness in Brazil and in Latin America in general. Also, believe it or not, despite Brazil's reputation as being somewhat violent, I find it much calmer and more peaceful in Brazil, especially now. I mean, there's so much discord now in the United States, politically. Just not experiencing that in Brazil. You know, as a leftist, of course, I like the current Brazilian government under Lula, and I don't feel that anger and anxiety that I feel here living under the Trump regime. The thing I like here in the United States, especially here in California, is the multiculturalism. I don't know if you can hear, but the two workers who are cutting down the tree outside, one is from Mexico and the other one is from Honduras. They're speaking in Spanish, a language I speak and understand, by the way. People from all over the world here. Not so much in Brazil. In large cities like Sao Paulo, there are immigrants, but much more multicultural here. That multiculturalism that I love so much, though, is under threat from the Trump regime as he goes after immigrants, anybody who's not, whose ancestors didn't come over on the Mayflower, under threat. Goodbye, tree. Now the bougainvillea is being cut back, but not chopped down, just cut back. I think the lemon tree also has been cut back. So I just ran to the corner store and got myself a jelly donut, $3.50. Absurd. You know, when I get a little sticker shock like that, it makes me realize how lucky I am to live outside the United States. Wow, all finished. Look at the difference. The Japanese maple tree is gone, and I gotta say, I will miss it. It's nice to see the plants and succulents getting a lot more sunlight. Boy, can you tell that I miss having a nice garden? I do miss this garden. Not gonna lie, I don't know how that is. I live in the Garden of Eden in Brazil, but there's just something about this little pocket-sized garden that I loved. And the bougainvillea has been way cut back, but it needed it. It wasn't getting enough sun. And the Myers lemon has been cut back, but it's a nice shape now. And they grow quickly. So all in all, they picked up all the weeds. They weeded the garden too. No more crabgrass. Very nice. Okay. Oh, and you can see the neighbors. Are those banana plants? They're banana plant looking plants. I don't know why it's looking almost tropical back here. Well, I just spent 3 hours in the garden cleaning up, planting, replanting things, repotting, making things look a little nicer, separating plants that have grown together. And I'm going to miss this garden. This is the best thing about this house. One day I hope to have a garden like this in Brazil. Seems logical. Beautiful Brazil, but I live in cities, so it's not that easy. But anyway, one can dream, right? Walked out my door, and this is happening. Gotta love San Francisco. And now we're in front of the Buddhist temple around the corner. I love the Mission District. I love San Francisco. We don't have Buddhist temples like this in Salvador, but Salvador has a lot of other kinds of cool things. And I'll be getting back on a plane 10 days from now. So I got 10 more days here in San Francisco. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you soon. As always, mwah, beijo, ciao.